Welcome back to Was It Real? The Hills Rewatch podcast. I'm Brody Jenner here with my co-hosts Audrina Patridge, Heidi Montag-Pratt, and Frankie Delgado. And today we are breaking down season 2, episode 3, The Best Night Ever. How's everybody doing?
Good.
How you guys feeling?
Let's
we're
do
good.
it.
We're good. Last
right.
week, Brody and Lauren finally went on a date.
yay.
And Spencer is still trying to meddle in with Audrina and Heidi's relationship.
That definitely was not the best night ever for me this episode.
All right, well, let's get into this week's
The
synopsis.
best night ever.
All right. An uninvited Audrina goes to my birthday, big mistake, and learns that I'm not ready to forgive and forget. Lauren's determined to focus on work, falls from the charms of the new guy in her life, which is Brody. And the episode aired on January 29th, 2007.
My God, 16 years ago.
So long ago, gosh. So it starts off, Heidi, you and Lauren start the episode off by shopping for outfits for your birthday outfit. And then we find out that you invited Whitney. And I remember Lauren asked if you invited me, and you're like, no, but if she wants to come, I'll say hi, but no, I didn't invite her. But yeah, we weren't talking at the time, so.
Yeah.
For real, you weren't talking?
No,
Well,
for real.
yeah,
This was the
because this-
first thing we filmed, right? For that season.
I think so.
Yeah, it was my birthday. So that's
Yep.
why this was before.
Yeah, this was all filmed
area.
out of
This is
order.
before everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was the first time I think we saw you.
Yeah. And then, so they film a lunch scene, Brody, with you and Lauren. Do you remember this? And you guys like talk about past relationships and like if you want to date someone and whether Lauren does and where you're at.
Yeah. Up to that point, I think in my life, I was sort of just getting in a relationship and being in a relationship, and I didn't have much time in between relationships. I don't know. I think I was kind of a relationship type of person back then. I wasn't really. I mean, I was single though. That's what I mean. I feel like
you were always in a relationship, dude.
Was I?
But in this episode,
Like you would have like your 1 month off, and then you
right
would
like
go
it
back
would
into
be-
like
yeah.
a 2-3 year thing, and then 2-3 months.
But I
and-
think you were freshly, and we'll catch up to this, but at Ledoux, at Heidi's birthday, you did talk about, I think you tell Spencer that you had just gotten out of a relationship like a week ago and you weren't sure if you were ready. And
Yes,
and you guys
that is
were
all
never
true.
at my birthday.
That is
That's
true.
the funniest thing.
Oh, what? Wait,
You
wait.
guys were not my birthday.
see,
That was
it
a
was
great edit though.
yeah.
But you did
Right.
just get out of the relationship with Nicole, right?
Yes,
So you
yes.
were dating Nicole Richie. You're done with that relationship. And then Spencer convinced you and I convinced Lauren and that.
Yes, exactly. You guys
Right.
definitely had a hand in that. Yes, the
masterminds.
masterminds of that
Yeah.
for sure.
I remember you were struggling with that too.
Yeah.
You didn't want to just have like it looked bad.
Right. Well, I mean, when you're in a relation, you want to have a genuine relationship.
Right.
I don't want to just like, so
Yeah,
it's-
But to the fans-
you've always been upfront
Right.
and honest
For sure.
about where
For
you're
sure.
at in life, and
sure.
you know.
Yeah. And then at Epic Records,
I go talk to Kiara, who I
Right.
didn't have anyone to film with at this point,
That's right.
because nobody really filmed with Whitney. Nobody really filmed with Whitney, and then you and Lauren were together, so Kiara was like my go-to to talk about things and say
She
the
was a good
one-liners.
support.
She was really nice, but at that point, I was really mad at Spencer because I realized what he was doing, and that's why you were so mad. So I did call Spencer a couple names.
But
Sorry.
that was after Area. So this is out of context. So this was
Yeah.
not for my birthday though. Because my birthday is the first thing, and then Area happened, and then
What was the
anyways.
wait?
What
Was your
is-
party not up at the top of Ledoux? What was
yeah,
that?
it was.
Yeah, but you guys
No,
weren't.
that wasn't it.
You guys didn't come to my
So they just
birthday.
added in, like
Yeah,
they
that's
just put
you
us
guys
in there
at a different night or
at
a different
night
place.
up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
What are we drinking tonight?
That's why you guys aren't talking to anyone. It's like if you weren't there,
Oh,
you wouldn't talk
right,
to
right,
us,
right.
or
It's like
like
me and
they
you
have no
talking in the corner.
footage. Right? There's
They
no
were-
footage of you interacting.
That was really good
That's so
editing.
funny. You're
Yeah.
right. Actually, I
It
didn't even
was-
think about that.
yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah, it never like
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the-
you're
clicks in
right.
until you start seeing
Right.
it from
That's
those
true.
kind of angles,
I didn't
right?
even think about that.
like anytime you would have talked to Lauren
For sure.
or anyone, they would have
For
aired it
sure.
at
Yeah,
that
they
point.
just showed Lauren talking to you about him and then you talking to Spencer about Lauren and pieced it.
Lauren, show your style. I just got out of a relationship, like, I just got out of a relationship, like, a week ago.
That was
Interesting.
genius.
That was genius.
Great.
Probably a Friday night and a Wednesday night.
The build up.
We were there.
Of Heidi's
We were there every
first
night.
day.
Right.
I could have
I
got it
mean,
whenever.
yeah, we were there a lot. And then they show Heidi, you and Lauren getting your hair done at the salon, and you wanted an Audrey Hepburn type do, and talking about how you considered yourself to be a princess. Were those your words, or did the producers sometimes would give you ideas of what to say and you could run with it, or was that like all you?
I think we were just drinking and being funny, and I think that
Yeah.
was it. They weren't really giving us lines at that point, because that was pre-Spencer. That was right after the summer. That was fresh, so I think that was just
I mean, that was a cute thing to say because Audrey Hepburn is like an American princess and
right.
classy and,
Yeah. with the outfit I had. Pretty funny.
it works.
Yeah.
And then Lauren lets you know that Whitney's not going to go.
Of course not. She never
Yeah,
wants to come. Whitney's never hanging
She
out.
really didn't ever want to make effort.
That's why I was so shocked when Whitney got the spinoff. I was like, what? Whitney? She didn't even film. Like, what do you mean?
Maybe that's why, because
Yeah.
nobody really knew her really
Right.
or her life.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
Shocking.
she just wanted to have her own, not association,
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. Obviously.
That makes sense.
we were pretty wild.
Yeah, still. Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting for my call, for my spin-off. They just never
Right.
called.
And then you just say that
Bromance.
Romance over here, you're right.
I'm definitely not invited.
Right.
It really hypes up your birthday, the last scene, they did a good job of that.
Yeah. And it's funny because, with Lauren, I didn't want to tell her story. So I'm not saying why we're not talking to you because that was up to her and she didn't want to do that. And we were both on that page, so it really doesn't make sense
none of
of
it
why
makes
we
sense.
weren't talking
Yeah.
to you. That's why I was like, I can have her come and I'll say hi because,
Yeah.
but I was like, it's not the right place to have that first one-on-one. I was like, my birthday is supposed to be fun and I want to
Yeah.
party and I want to
Yep.
enjoy it. And this is not something that I want to become about Audrina
Yeah.
and this drama. I was like, this
Well,
is
and
my
honestly,
night.
I didn't even want to go.
Of course not. I'm
I was
sure.
like, please, I don't want to go. They don't like me. Why would I go somewhere? Actually, I was going there anyways because that's where we went. But my sister went. I had
Friday.
a group
Whatever.
of friends. I think Justin was even there. We had a table downstairs, and then I had to go film my scene walking in, and then go upstairs, say hi, and then I could go back down.
Yeah.
And then Jen Bunny had a conversation and tried to get all up in the drama.
I just wanted to make sure that she had a good birthday. I'm really protective of my friends. You're such a random girl. You don't know anything about the situation. All I'm saying. I'm going back downstairs to my friends. I came up here to be nice and say happy birthday, and that was it. And now it's turned into this.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a full-on fight, but that's why Jen was so mad too, because she had Lauren's back and, with the whole thing. So it was a whole
That's
thing.
so
I know.
That
crazy.
one?
That makes no sense
Yeah.
to me.
That's
don't
when
know.
you and Lauren had your
Same
No.
club, different time.
no,
Yeah.
way different.
Yeah,
That's a way different.
that's
That was
coming
my
up.
birthday
Oh,
in
sorry.
the same room.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the spot.
Right.
And then
That's
you
the
could
full-out
overlook
spot.
and see who's
Yeah, you would
there.
overlook over the
Yeah,
thing.
that was
That's
so
whenever
weird.
you and Lauren are like, oh my God, Audrina's here. And then I
Right.
just go up there.
Right.
Again, I did show up all the time because that's what I was told to do. But it's I really didn't know the extent of the drama or what I was getting into because I didn't really know.
Well, if you don't show up,
Yeah.
there's no show
Yeah.
on that one.
Well,
right?
here's
Yeah.
the difference. So with you, they wanted you on it, and the producers kept having you show up and would plan for you to show up and integrate that with us. When
Mhm.
I had the falling out with Lauren, it was the opposite. It was do not come here, do not film,
Right.
do not show up. And I was like, I can
Oh.
do whatever I want, and I am
Wow.
coming, and
Right.
I am going to do that, and I'm going on, and I had to
Yeah,
go against
work-
producers and cast members, and so at least you
Well, the
got the
producers
golden
probably
carpet.
wanted
Oh
you
my
there. It was probably all coming from Lauren, probably.
Oh,
for
it
sure.
was pretty, yeah. So, anyways, at least you got the red carpet to roll out from the producers.
I mean,
you
and then
know,
I'm
to show
always
up.
rolling up everywhere by myself.
Did you guys have the same agent too? Didn't you guys
Yes.
have
Originally,
And I had Max too,
All
which
of you guys
was
had Max.
terrible.
yeah, which is the worst decision ever. They're like,
Yeah.
here, take this agent so he'll get you nothing and make sure that it's on Lauren's
Yeah.
terms. And
Oh,
that was
no.
not
it was
a good idea.
really
Well, that was
bad.
bad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
God.
Conflict of interest there.
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
Spencer is off to the side talking to Brody about Lauren, but you guys aren't even there. So this is a whole different conversation at a different point in time.
Right. So we
Anyways.
weren't really there, but it
Right.
looked like we were.
For the show, it
For the
was.
show we were.
Right.
But you really had the conversation about Lauren and
Oh,
like,
for
that whole
sure.
thing.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure on camera, off camera, for sure.
Yeah, and then like we said, then they cut to Heidi and Lauren talking about you and then piece it together, which, it
I wonder
worked.
what
We
were-
weren't even talking about you. Start your year off with non-toxic kitchenware so you can ditch the chemicals. With our exclusive discount, you can now save the full suite of Caraway products, including food storage, tea kettle, and mini cookware.
Yes, I'm obsessed. Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenwares are all designed for the modern home and feature a chemical-free ceramic coating. The ones I have are it's an off-white, and it's just so sleek and pretty.
Those are my favorite for sure. The internet famous cookware set is a staple for any home and comes in multiple colors to fit with any design and aesthetic. My favorite is also the white, which I love. It just goes in my kitchen really well. I know that my kids are eating really healthy and clean, and I just want the best possible cookware.
Visit carawayhome.com/hills. Take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase.
This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so go visit carawayhome.com/hills or use code HILLS at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
HelloFresh now has 40 weekly recipes to choose from, so you can say bye-bye to your recipe rut and treat yourself and your family to exciting new flavors every single week.
No matter your lifestyle or meal preferences, HelloFresh has recipes sure to please everybody at your table. From fit and wholesome to veggie or family friendly, you'll always find something even the pickiest eaters will enjoy. Last night, Kira and I actually had the falafel bowls from the Fast and Fresh recipes. It was ready in less than 15 minutes, delicious, and I appreciate how quickly the meal came together.
You'll only find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipe. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you'll know when they're fresh.
Go to HelloFresh.com/TheHill60 and use code TheHill60 for 60% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/TheHills and use code TheHill60 for 60% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
This is where all the drama really heats up. Jen, she walks over to Lauren and tells her that I'm talking shit on her, which I wasn't. I was just didn't understand.
I think you were. I thought I heard.
Well, I was like, I don't know why they're not talking to me. What did I do? I just want to say hi to her.
Yeah.
And so Jen was like, I'm going to go tell her to leave.
Yeah.
Right, because I was saying, I was like, why is she at my birthday rolling up? Because I'm not doing this with her here. I was like, this is not appropriate. If she wants to find out why we're not talking to her, then let's have that conversation and that scene at another time. And that's before I knew, I just was in the moment. So I wasn't thinking of a producer. I'm like, this is really my birthday and I'm really having fun. And who cares? It was like
Audrina, walk into the lion's den.
Yeah, but I thought there was going to be a physical fight because who was with you? Too.
I had a group. I was there with a huge group downstairs.
Your group was yelling
and
over
this
group.
You guys
and I really thought it was going to be a physical fight. 100%.
It
was
heated.
Close.
It got heated.
That was close.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
They should have got all that on camera.
And then they see you exiting the parking lot and you're crying into your cell phone.
What did I do?
Do you want to fill us in what happened?
To be honest, growing up, I never dealt with that. I never had feuds with anybody. I was friends with everyone. I never had drama. I stayed away from drama. And then when I got on the hills,
everybody's supposed to like me.
It was like, these girls are not nice. I'm trying, the producers are telling me one thing and to show up and do this. And
who are you talking to?
On the phone that night?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Maybe probably Justin.
All right. Well, after the party, Jen, Lauren, and myself eat Chinese food, and we discuss how much Brody likes Lauren, and Lauren isn't sure what she wants. So Lauren, she was just trying to play it cool, and this was after a different time too. So this wasn't really after my birthday.
That scene?
That scene.
Yeah.
Would you ever date Brody? Do you like him?
I do not want to date anyone right now.
I like her. That used to be you. I think he definitely likes you. I think the question is, do you like him?
If I didn't like him, I wouldn't waste my time worrying about him.
So if things went well, you would date him?
I don't know what I
I don't know what I want. I don't know if I like Brody.
That was a cute little scene.
Oh yeah.
It was very authentic.
I literally was like, stop trying to play it so cool. Like, it's fine. If you like him, it's fine. Like,
Maybe just because it
It's
was
all
so
good.
soon after Waller or something, or at least it played that way.
it was a while. It had
was
been a
in-
while since Jason, too. And I
In
think
real
she was
life.
just, gun shy of
Yeah.
like on camera
Exactly.
stamping you and not wanting to look like she was chasing another ex of Kristen Cavallari's publicly,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
which I get.
Smart. Yeah.
But I was like,
she's
whatever.
smart.
He's Brody.
She was
I'm sure he's dated
definitely-
a lot of people.
She was definitely calculated in her decisions.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
of course.
She knew what she was
I
Everything
doing.
was
remember
very
Lauren wanting like
strategic. Yeah, she knew
movie
what she was
scene
doing.
lines sometimes. I'd be like, that's a
It
good
was
one.
calculated both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, she was the pro. I'd never realized because
Yeah,
she
was
came
right,
from
right,
Laguna.
which was good though that
Yeah.
you weren't. It's better that I feel like you came across
'Cause
way
you were
better that you
fresh.
weren't
Yeah.
like too. You didn't think about it too much. You just like went out there and you were yourself.
Even if I tried to, I just don't think it's really
Right.
in my.
And
It's
you're-
hard for
and
me
you're-
to. Yeah, Spencer's like,
sense.
oh my gosh, you're gonna go in there. So I'm like, I can't. Whatever comes, it's just
I love
That's
it.
anyways.
good though.
That
It's-
is
Yeah,
good.
he was
Yeah.
laughing. Okay.
The
yeah.
next day, the next scene, they cut to Teen Vogue, and basically Lauren forces Whitney to go to lunch with me. So it's Lauren, me, and Whitney. And it was a very awkward lunch. Again, this was a lunch, very produced. And I was like, I think at that point, I didn't even want to film anymore. I was like, none of this makes sense for me to be on this show.
right.
Like, I don't know why. Like, why do you want me to be on it? Like,
They
it
said
doesn't
that
make
to
sense.
us. They're
I
like,
don't want to do
Audrina
it.
doesn't want to be on the show anymore. You guys need to figure out how to like bring her back in.
Yeah.
And this was
so-
Lauren's chance to like clear the air with you
but she
because
didn't
she's
say
playing like she
anything.
doesn't know any of it, and it's like
Yeah.
and she's putting it off on me.
Gosh, I wish I would have
What
known
was her
that.
problem?
Because she thought that I was flirting with Jason or something.
No, like
or,
hooking up with Jason and all this. So that's why we weren't
And you
talking
were?
to Audrina.
Never.
Not at all.
Never.
See, did you hear the same rumor? No, I know you cleared it, but it's interesting that she's playing
Yeah.
like it's on me and I have the problem with you,
But
and
that's
this was way before Spencer.
Mhm.
So that's why
It
this
makes
had
no
nothing to do with
sense.
Spencer.
What could have it been then that she was like thinking that you and her?
I told you because we
She
heard
just-
that she was hooking up with Jason in the summer, like right after. So we were like, forget Audrina.
I'm
We'll
saying,
just
but like,
Well, and also
were you hanging out with him like randomly at a club? Like, what's up?
where
And
is
hi.
this-
Yeah, I remember we would go out at night and I'd see him with like Talon and everybody and we'd be like, hey, how are you? And like we'd all talk, but that was it ever. Like nothing more than that. So yeah, I don't know. Lauren, she never said anything. So about this lunch with Whitney, it was about you. And it's like, I really didn't understand what was going on with us because it was just like so abrupt and just cut off. But gosh,
I remember Lauren being like, I had lunch with Audrina. I was like, first of all, why wasn't I there? And then why is it coming off like I have the problem with Audrina? I was like, did you talk to her? So it was like
Yeah.
weird that I got cut out of making amends with you and looking like Lauren was the one reaching out when really it was Lauren's problem to begin with.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
You
okay.
took one for the team there. Yeah,
Yeah,
so basically at that
sure.
point, I was like, okay, well, I'm basically giving up then. I guess I have other friends and I'll let it go.
Later, Heidi and Lauren go to area and meet up with Spencer and Brody.
This is whenever you guys are all hanging out and then Lauren and Brody leave together.
Ooh.
Oh,
And go to the
okay.
street.
Lauren and Brody, on the other hand, have snuck out of the club.
Brody,
to
what
Brody
happened?
condo.
I know I went back to the condo that night.
Did you come back that night after?
Every night you guys went back together. I
Oh
was
yeah,
in the
I think.
other room.
Well, I think that night. What happened? So,
Oh,
but I do
You can
remember
tell
them
your
being
story. I
like
won't
kiss,
tell
kiss,
it.
kiss.
That other room
kiss.
was everybody's room.
Oh my
The
I know
what?
that room was sanitized.
Well, I'm just trying to think about that when we went back and we did. I do remember because every time we film these scenes, there's like 25 people in the room with you. So it's like there's like 25 people, producers, filmers. I mean, everything. I think Heidi was there too with Spencer in the background.
But the cameras left, right? So they just filmed you guys going back that night.
back,
I
a
hooked
little
up with Spencer in
kiss.
real life in the other room. You guys are hanging out. And then I think that was the only night you guys kind of hung out. And then you decided to be friends or
Yeah, I think
you
that was
know.
like, well, that night we all hung out. We all,
Yeah.
whatever happened. We chatted. We did our little on-screen kiss for the producers, and then we just sort of
you're off screen, whatever. I don't
yeah,
know.
and we hung out one night, and then we just sort of-
Showmans, baby.
it was
Oh, it was
with Lauren. It was
romance.
definitely with Lauren. It was a little bit of showmance for sure. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
think even for the both of us, I think she would say the same thing too. I mean, I don't know if she really.
I think she'd
liked
say
me.
that now.
I think maybe,
at the
right.
time it was not a showmance for
What's
Yeah,
that?
because
I can't
she
be the
really-
one
I
to
think
say
she got
that,
real
but
feelings.
Heidi
you
would know
know.
better than me.
Yeah,
so.
she really did
get-
like you.
And
Yeah.
she got so mad at Jen Bunny. Like so
So
mad.
I think what
because-
happened
yeah.
was
Yeah, you tell us, Heidi.
okay, so
Yeah.
Brody wasn't as interested in Lauren than Lauren was in Brody. And so it was the four of us hanging out all the time. And so when Brody kind of was like, well, not as into it or whatever, then she said to me, like, we're not hanging out with Brody and Spencer anymore. And this is when I was getting serious with Spencer and we were like getting to be boyfriend, girlfriend. That's after all this happened. I was like, no, there is no the four of us. Like, I'm really with Spencer and I really love Spencer. So I'm sorry if that's it, but like, you can still be around Brody and hang out with
Didn't
Brody.
she try to make you choose, right?
So that's
That's
later.
That's
But so this was the beginning of that.
Okay.
And so
Right.
this was the biggest crack in our relationship where she was like, you're either choosing them or me, basically, like we're hanging out with Brody and Spencer or we're not. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. We're not a foursome where I tried to make it work. It's not
Right.
working. That's not, you guys aren't going to be together. That's totally fine, but we can still hang out with them. And that was not cool with her. And that was just starting to be like, no, which is funny because she ended up being friends with you, which was one of the reasons, like, and then
which
so
we're
the
going to
whole
get
thing
into all
is-
of that.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
next,
Because
like,
that's exactly.
it all
then-
comes
right.
up.
So anyways, that was
But the producers
the
loved us
beginning of that.
together. We weren't
Yeah, but
into each other like that, or I wasn't
So from-
really,
yeah.
and it just sort of we morphed into just friendship, but we were able to act and do these scenes together that were very genuine, and that came across like we had a genuine crush, and I mean we got along. We were good friends, and we
during that-
we both knew what it meant for the show, and we were just sort of played along with it. I think both
right.
of us.
But before
At
that,
that-
she
right,
really liked
right.
you.
I think
So that was like a
right.
real thing. So that was a turning point in your guys' relationship
Right.
of after you guys took a break. She saw other people.
Wasn't
you
the
guys saw other
Cabo thing
people.
after this too?
Way after?
think
Yeah,
it was
for
way
sure.
after.
For Cabo was
I think
after
like
because you
6
guys were off
months
doing your own
after.
thing,
And
and so
you-
were we.
yeah,
we were
we
all
were-
friends.
That's
and
we
when
were
I
all
wasn't
friends.
friends with Lauren anymore.
Right,
Because you
for
guys
sure.
all went to
For
Cabo.
sure, for
There would
sure.
have been no
'Cause
Cabo
you
trip
guys-
without me
I
at
was
that
gonna
point.
say,
No, you would have
Oh,
been.
You and Spencer
come
definitely would have
on.
been on that trip.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah,
anyway.
it was all kind of filmed out of order and put together, like very, dramatic and entertaining wise. But it's crazy to watch.
All right, let's get into some fan calls. But before we do, we just want to thank all of you guys out there for listening and rating the show. We love to hear what you guys think. So please go ahead and give us a rating. Let's see
5
what, let's see
stars.
what you got. 5 stars. Come
5
on, let's
stars.
go.
Come on.
How many stars?
5.
Let's go.
10, 5.
Keep going. You can keep giving stars,
Yeah.
Give the stars.
Well, now let's get into some fan questions.
This question is for Audrina. Were you and Whitney ever friends? And if you were, are you still friends now?
Honestly, no, we were never really friends. We would hang out on the show, but I think Whitney had such her own life going on and her own show. And yeah, she was always really kind, but we never hung out outside of,
Yeah.
I don't know. We never really, I would never confide in her about personal things in my personal life with my family or other friends outside of the show. She wasn't that type of friend.
I think
but
Whitney
we were
was always
friendly.
just there.
Yeah.
She was just
That's a good description.
She was just there, all the time. Like there was Whitney.
Yeah.
We were friendly.
Right. Acquaintances.
Yeah.
Coworkers.
Heidi knows everything.
Still.
Yeah, still. Heidi's a friend, but yeah, she's just a busy lady.
Yeah.
Whitney,
has her own
Whitney
choices.
doesn't like any of us.
Yeah,
It's just-
That's what
let's
I
break
always
it
say.
down. Come on.
It's
Let's
all
just
fine.
so notice.
She never
Whitney
even gave
didn't
me a
want to hang out
chance.
with us.
She never gave me
I
a
mean,
chance.
maybe she has her own side of the story. Why don't we invite her to come here? And
I already did
We
invite her.
did.
She said
wants
no.
nothing to do with
Yeah.
us, Frankie.
Why?
Because, she doesn't like us.
I thought everybody liked us.
I don't think she
All
liked
right,
that hill.
question 2. Question
Anyway.
2. Let's go. Let's
Sad.
go.
That's sad.
Sorry to break your heart, buddy.
Whatever.
Damn it.
Hi, Audrina, Brody, and Frankie. I am so excited you guys are doing this podcast. My name is
This was
Amina.
obviously
I'm
pre
from
them
Toronto,
knowing about
Canada,
Heidi.
and I have been a fan of The Hills for a very long time. And my question for you is, if there was a particular moment on The Hills that you could go back to, maybe a positive moment, because it seems like lately a lot of these scenes we've been watching are, about breakups and things like that. So is there a particular scene or moment on the show that you could go back to? Which one would that be and why? If all three of you can answer that question, great. If not, then at least one of you, because I love all of you equally. Thank you so much.
Wasn't she fair, except leaving me out?
I know.
I
This may have
think
been-
she said that question.
This is an
right
old
before
question.
you.
Yeah.
Sure. They're all leaving me
Yeah,
out.
no. Wow, what? Yeah, go ahead.
I
Audrina.
would say all of the trips.
I was gonna say
like,
that, too.
Yeah, Costa Rica or Hawaii or Cabo, or like the trips are always fun because everybody was like disconnected from the LA drama and like just really enjoyed themselves and had fun.
Yeah, your trips always looked really fun. I never was on those trips. Whatever.
You guys should have just
You guys had
showed
such a
up.
fun show you
You
filmed.
and
We were in
Spencer
different
were on your own. You guys
universe.
had your own trips.
Yeah,
You
what
guys-
Yeah.
show? What
You guys were in
trip did
Costa
you ever
Rica,
go to?
too.
Any of them?
No, the only trip we went on is when we eloped and got in trouble and they had to get their cameras down there.
Palmilla?
Palmilla.
The
Yeah.
Palmilla,
So that wasn't really a planned trip. That was like, you're going to get kicked off the show and you're in a lot of trouble trip. But whatever.
That's right. You guys did do that. I forgot
They
about
should have
that.
just had you
were-
guys come along, or like, I don't know. I feel like things could have been done so differently.
Hawaii
Would
was
have been
really
better.
cool.
Oh, sounds fun.
Hawaii, Cabo,
Paid
Costa
for.
Rica. Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
Cabo was wild.
Miami was fun.
Cabo was wild because they started hiding mics. That was wild.
Yeah.
We'd start to find mics hidden in like certain areas where they weren't supposed to be filming, or they said they weren't filming, and you would just reach under the table and there'd just be a microphone right there. So because they knew that we were onto them
it
doing
would have
this all
got
the time.
me.
Mhm.
It would have got me.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear one from Catherine.
Hey, I got a question for Frankie.
Whoa.
What
like
is
that.
your origin story? Are you from Laguna Beach? How did you meet the kids from the Laguna Beach shows? And how did you get started in working in clubs and live events?
Okay,
Thanks so much.
He's not.
Bye.
He has a wife. He's not single. Okay. So,
3 kids.
Hey, Catherine. Oh my God, that's a
That's
very
a good story.
that's like its own podcast, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I met Talon at the VMAs in Miami during Hurricane Katrina, and me and Talon, he wanted to move to LA, so he asked for advice. There happened to be an extra room in our house, and he immediately moved in.
Talon was from Laguna Beach, right?
Talon was from Laguna Beach, who I just ran into him at Delilah the other day. We all went out and had a little
Reunion.
And yeah, we talked about this kind of thing. Like, if it wasn't for me and Talon kind of like growing up, that's when basically Lauren and Heidi would come up and hang out with us. That's kind of
Lauren was friends with Talon.
and Jason was dating
Because Heidi, you didn't really know Talon, right? Only through Lauren.
Right.
everybody. So Talon was kind of like the glue to like
Right.
Kristen would come up
Mm.
and would stay with Talon at our house.
Right.
And she started going out with us. Like, everybody kind of like started being that kind of like, that was the
It was a big
piece.
deal to like come see Frankie at Frankie's
sure.
house.
And you always
you
had
hear
the
like
best
Talon's up
clubs.
there.
Yeah.
How did you get into the
Talon's in
club? She was
Hollywood.
asking how you got into the
how did I
club.
get into clubs? Well, I've always loved that kind of like scene. And when I moved here, I'm not from Laguna Beach, which is something she said. I'm from Tijuana, and I would go to school in San Diego. And one time I just started this little company with like spring breakers and stuff in Rosarito, and everybody would go out there, and I would have like their packages ready, like with the hotel
Oh,
and
yeah.
and like the all you can.
Drink and eat.
No, it's like all you can, like
All-inclusive?
all inclusive type of feeling. And that made me like, I was getting artists to come and perform. So I was like, I got into that really, really, like, it was like that scene of like how to throw a party in a way. So when I moved here, the first thing I did was knock on a door and say, can I get a job in a club? And he's like, well, why? So I'm like, because I'll start from the bottom.
Who first helped you out in the nightlife, like get really into the LA scene?
So what happens is I'm working at the office of this club, and I'm just kind of like an assistant, I guess. Nowadays they call them executive assistants. And I was an assistant, and Greg Carney would come, and he would like, I would have their checks ready and just give them their checks, and me
Because
and
what
him.
was Carney a promoter? He was
He was a
promoting.
promoter for one of the clubs. So he kind of was like, yo, man, like, I see you every night. Like, what are you doing here? Because I would go to that club because that's the only one I could get into because I would work there during the day. And then at night, I started working at night as well, kind of like helping out whoever it was, the waitresses, the bartenders, the managers, the owner, if he needed anything. And that was like, me and Greg became boys, and he kind of like gave me kind of like, yo, you know everybody here. Why don't we start kind of working together? Like, you seem like you can like bring some other people to this other place that I have over here. And I'm like, it's called Nirvana. So we started throwing a little party on Tuesday nights at Nirvana. And that's kind of how I started in the club business.
What was that show that Greg Carney had?
So me and Greg had a show called 24/7.
Right, 24/7. That's right.
Which is the main reason that like I was like, oh, I got my own show.
Totally.
We remember that.
I remember that. That was a big. It was on MTV,
It was a
wasn't it?
huge
It
deal.
was on
No,
MTV.
yeah, it was. No, but I
was
know.
big,
But I remember
yeah.
when Frankie would always say that because
Well,
we were
I
on the
had
hills.
a fucking billboard on the
And you're
fucking.
like,
I have my own billboard, and y'all want me to go be on the background on the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would have done the same thing.
All
Well,
right.
they should have integrated you with Heidi at Bolt House. Like, there's so many.
Well, he had his own show at
Because
that time.
At that exact time,
Yeah.
Okay.
my show was supposed to like be right at the.
Lauren was dating Greg Carney.
Yeah.
Like for a while, for a long time.
Hence
on
what
and
you
on.
said on the
Yeah,
other
that's right. I forgot
episode.
about
I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
I didn't want
yeah.
to throw him under
Right,
the bus.
so we were talking about
Forgot
Greg
about
Carney
that.
when they said it was
When
Brody.
me and Greg didn't have like a falling out, but we just kind of like went our separate ways.
Yeah.
That's why Lauren was over there, and I was like kind of like more like, dude, you were like my best friend. Like, what happened?
Yeah, totally. I can see that.
That makes sense.
Well, anyways, speaking of Frankie, let's get into your confession corner.
When this whole thing that we were talking about, the Jason Waller and like Heidi and everybody was mad, can you, Audrina and Heidi, can you guys specifically tell me, like, was there a point where you're like, I hate that bitch?
Oh yeah,
No.
the beginning.
Yo,
don't hold back.
She said yes. She said no.
Well, because I.
Heidi's like, yes.
Hell yeah.
No.
Well, because I honestly didn't know what was going on, and I was
Right.
still vibing out this new show that we were just like kind of thrown into. And it's like, what is going on? Like, who are these people? Like, she's not talking to me. But yeah, I didn't have hate for you. I was just like more hurt and like confused.
Yeah.
But I could see from your perspective why you thought I was, going after Spencer and then going after Jason.
No,
and,
first
like, I'm this
Jason.
girl
The
that's
anger came later when you showed up with Spencer because the Jason thing had just happened. So I thought it was something you were just doing.
Right.
So I'm
Trying to
like,
stir up
okay,
the pot.
first it's Jason, now it's
Oh my
Spencer,
God.
and so that was months later or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole thing, but I never hated you. I don't hate anyone. That's a deep,
Strong
dark
word.
word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was over you.
You heard what I said. I hate that bitch.
Yeah, all right.
It's more like,
I did.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're heated in the moment, you say things that, you don't always mean, or especially I wish that we would have had communicated because it would have been so different. But again, it made
And by
for a
the
good
way,
show.
you were very sweet and always very like you just went with the flow, and you weren't like that kind of person you've never been like that around me or anyone that I know could say that. But you could have seen that coming from a mile away. That
Of course. And Audrina came in hot. Like, let's
That's
not
my
pretend.
point. That's what I'm
Audrina
saying.
came in like, fine, I'll go up there. I got
Well,
my girls. I'm
I
coming in. Let's
also-
not. Audrina didn't come up like,
you don't seem like
you
an
know,
innocent
I'm
person
a
when you're
little-
doing
No.
that. So it was kind
I
of.
also was never, I'm not like
have
a
an
person
edge.
that's ever afraid. Like, you want me to do something? Yeah, I'll do it.
Totally.
What do you want me
Audrina
to
has
say?
an edge. Let's
So I'll
not
do
play. Yeah, come on. Audrina was ready to roll.
That's why
on me.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody understands. Like, it wasn't just like so gullible. Like, oh yeah, I didn't know
No.
nothing. Like,
Well, I knew that
We
something
all
was
knew.
Well, after that, there was that scene where I caught on to the whole Spencer thing. Because after,
Right,
in the
right.
beginning, I didn't really know. But then when you start hearing producers say little things and that, you catch on and you know what the story is.
Right.
Because I wasn't talking to anyone on the show. So I didn't know. Like, if I would have talked to you or someone.
Right.
But it was, and Whitney was out of the picture. So I
Right.
don't know. Like,
Whitney was there.
Without Heidi, there's, nothing.
I know, and what a switch because before we were best friends. Anyways, I gotta get
Anyways.
going. I feel like I got a
Yeah.
nurse in a second.
Okay, you guys. So thank you.
Heidi's got a nurse.
I got
Yeah.
a nurse. I used to
Mama's
drink
gotta
and now I just nurse.
Yeah.
It's a different chapter.
Oh, that's right, because you can't drink. Well, yeah,
can't
yeah.
have
You
a
have to wait.
glass.
she can have a glass of wine.
Like
I can
one
have a
glass.
glass
to
of wine
wait.
every
Yeah.
night,
Or
or I
just-
don't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't, but
Or
you
just
know,
pump
you
it
could.
out.
Yeah, pump and dump.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Please follow, rate, and review The Hills Rewatch wherever you listen to your podcast. If you'd like to watch us, check it out on YouTube. And as always, you guys can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/thehills, or you can send in your questions to thehills@castmedia.com. That's cast with a K. See you guys next week.
Thank you. 5 stars.
Don't forget to rate us.
5 stars.
How many stars?
5.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to start with the pilot episode and catch all of our episode recaps.